Hello and welcome to Light Your Life. I'm your host, Tina Marie, and today we are talking about procrastination. Have you ever had trouble persuading yourself to do the things you should do or would love to do? When anyone procrastinates, instead of working on important, meaningful tasks, they find themselves performing trivial rituals. And what we are going to learn today is being okay with a mundane or energy neutral life. Seneca says, while we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is simply slipping away. So today on the podcast, what we are going to be diving into is, why do we procrastinate? How do we recognize procrastination? How are we doing it? And what's it look like so we can be honest with ourselves? And third, we're going to dive into what can we do to overcome procrastination. Thank you again for spending your time here today and listening to this podcast. Light Your Life is here for you to increase the effectiveness of your life and become that contributor to the positivity of life that you know you are. If this touches your soul, please do share this podcast today with a friend. I have seeded our time together with some quotes on, you guessed it, procrastination. And here's the first one. It says, procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. I really like that one and unfortunately resonated with it. So truth be known, I procrastinated doing this podcast. You can even ask my team. So this was on our list at the beginning of the year to have as a topic because it comes up often in coaching. And I like to research and script and pull things together in a meaningful way prior to airing the podcast. And so what did I do? I procrastinated on pulling all that research together until right now. So, I'm not immune to it. I just simply know how it works. And so hopefully the techniques and strategies I use to overcome my own procrastination today can help you. Sometimes the opportunities can be at our fingertips. Those things that we know we have energy toward, we want to jump on, we want to start, we want to begin. We're like, oh yeah, this is it. Cool. And then we'll find that the energy waxes, it wanes, it drains, and we're lost. We are at the place where we're going, how do I keep myself motivated? How do I find that inspiration again? How do I find that spark? Or do I just give up? And sometimes that just hesitance inside of our own head creates that level of procrastination. We just put it off. We put things off because it's easier, right? It's easier to put it off and go do something else. And we give ourselves excuses and mindset stories. I know I do. I say, well, I'll come back to it when I have better energy. Or I'll come back to it when, it all makes sense, when it's going to fit better. Maybe I just started that and it's supposed to be on the shelf. I give myself a really nice story. But the truth is, anytime we procrastinate, myself included, we're simply wasting time. And we're wasting time that could be invested in moving that ball forward, getting that goal achieved, and actually celebrating the win of us doing what we've said we'd love to do and not waiting for permission from people, not waiting to have justification on whether or not this is a good idea or not, and simply going for something that means something to us. Now, how do we overcome this fierce enemy, the fierce enemy of procrastination? Let's see where it originates. So to better understand your procrastination tendencies and the typical ones that are here in our culture and our mindset as humans, let's dive in and piece together what this is all made of. And then we're going to dive into how can we overcome this. I want to give you the best tools that I've used and learned, and they definitely work, right? So first thing I want to set out and share is that procrastination is not laziness. It is not laziness. It is a strategy. It's a strategy that actually is meeting our needs. How does that work, right? So there are 6 human needs. And in the framework that we've talked about before here on Light Your Life, the podcast, is that the 3 human needs that are most, foundational in our decision making, first is certainty. And certainty equals safety. And if our mind is always looking for certainty, like figuring it out, getting it right, knowing how, then we're going to stay stuck. It's not going to be good enough. Certainty just drives so many of our decisions. And yes, we want to be certain about our safety, our physical, emotional, spiritual, mental safety. Yes, I give us that. We need that, right? We need to have a roof over our head. We need to have money in the bank. We need to know we can trust the relationships around us and the people that we hold dear to us. And those foundational things are our safety. We're not going to be physically harmed. We're not going to put ourselves in a situation where we're going to be hurt. So certainty has a level of need. However, the lower mind takes it way out. Like it wants to figure everything out, have a definite plan, have a guarantee, know that it's going to work. We're not going to waste time or money. And that it's going to get us the result that we can visualize. And sometimes that vision changes. Like one day we'll have the vision of this is what the outcome is going to be. And whoo, that sounds great. And then the next day it's a different vision. And the third day it's a different vision. And if we keep changing the vision and the result that we're going for, we're going to feel unenergized. We're just simply not going to go for it. So when we procrastinate, we do waste time. And time is so much our most valuable resource. We know this, right? And procrastination mindset says just do something if it's wrong, like do something and stay busy. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit later here in the podcast as well, how busyness is not productivity. So as I said, procrastination is not laziness. It's simply a strategy to get our needs met. The first need that we're getting met is certainty. And the other need that we typically can get met in procrastination is significance. This is an interesting viewpoint into how the lower mind can get the need of significance met through procrastinating. We give ourselves the permission to feel as though we're being mindful about something. We give ourselves permission to stall out making progress because we want to get it right. And significance is another level of making sure that we are good. Like we're giving ourselves some type of significant time and making sure this is an important goal. And we just fool ourselves, right? And so any of those below the line needs that we're trying to get met, for you and I listening to this podcast, wanting to overcome procrastination, we're simply going to move above the line and we're going to start looking at love and connection. How are we going to love and connect with more people? How are we going to build our support network? We're going to start looking at how do I grow? Because procrastination usually means that we're stuck in an old framework or old habits, old belief systems that are keeping us stuck. So in order to get out of those and escape their gravity, we must grow and learn something new. And that's why you're here. You listen to podcasts because you are dedicated to growing. And then the third need that we want to help heal procrastination with is contribution. Once we achieve the goals that we so desire, it's going to make us a better person. It's going to help us be more helpful to other people. And simply, oftentimes, by us doing what we say we're going to do and keeping our word to ourselves, we're going to be a mentor or someone's going to have a vision upon us that goes, I want to be like that person. So we're inadvertently contributing to the betterment of humanity across the whole, sometimes people closer to us, be it our kiddos or our spouse or the people we work with. And definitely we're contributing to ourselves because we're keeping our word to ourselves, right? So this is how procrastination sounds inside the brain. First, it's, I don't do anything, right? We're procrastinating from doing something, getting a check mark, making progress, right? So I don't do anything. So then what happens? We feel guilty. And whenever we feel guilty, what happens? We begin to doubt ourselves and our own abilities to get anything done or make any progress or be a success at any level. And whenever we doubt ourselves, then that leads to feeling helpless. Like, oh God, I can't do this. And then we exacerbate and exaggerate those stories inside of our heads of us being less than, of us being not good enough. And oh my God, it's just like this perpetual hamster wheel, right? So if you have these tendencies, if you resonate with this, or you know somebody who resonates with this, we're going to dive into how do we heal this. Now I'm going to give you another one of those procrastination quotes that I pulled forward for our podcast today. And it's, if you want to make an easy job seem mighty hard, just keep putting it off, right? So true, right? If you want to make an easy job seem absolutely difficult and challenging and so hard, we just keep putting it off because then that lower mindset builds a story around it that justifies, oh my God, this is just going to be too much. I had this lady in my coaching program and she specifically hired me to help her stop procrastinating. She's like, I know I have this tendency. I just put things off. The piles on my desk are deep. My to-do list is my enemy. I hate it when people come to my office and ask me a question because I don't have the energy to answer just the question in front of me, let alone everything that's facing me in a day. It was daunting. So I said, let's go for it. Let's make things happen. And what we know is that progress equals happiness. And she was out of fuel. And she was telling stories of making the task at hand seem absolutely hard. And it was simply because she'd put it off so many times. It was like a record, like the needle of a record, sitting down on that same story, playing it over and over again. And if we keep playing that song of procrastination over again, we begin to believe it wholeheartedly, right? So one session, I started getting the MO. I understood her MO. She would commit to something and put it on her list, which she already told me that her list was her enemy, right? Her to-do list. And she'd put things on her list, and then I'd check in with her and she wouldn't be making progress. So the third session, she came to my office. I asked her beforehand, I said, bring me your to-do list. And she had a spiral and it had to-do lists in there and different notes. And I said, cool. So what would be, let's look through your list. Just read it to me, right? And I was making a post-it, like a post-it list. I said, is that a really important thing that you need to get done? Like move progress, you have progress happen on that thing? Yeah. Oh my God. And she told me why it was such a big deal for this particular thing on the list, like paying taxes, like getting her books over to her CPA. And she's a business owner, right? She had a team member that she knew she needed to let go, but just procrastinated because it's painful, right? There are other things on her list. And little things on the list also, like sending a thank you card to someone, or I forgot everything that was on her list, but there was, it's a mix of things that were important to her soul and her heart. She wasn't making progress on them. So within maybe 10 minutes, we had a list of 10 items. And then I asked her, well, out of these items, how much time do you think you need to dedicate to this, and just went down the list. How much time? And her mind had told her, that's going to take me about an hour. That one's going to take maybe 5 minutes. That one's going to take maybe 10 minutes. And so I got an idea of how long she thought the amount of time would be needed of her to address these items on this shorter list, succinctly pulled out of her big list down into a Post-it in front of both of us. And I said, so what's the first thing you need to do for this one, taking number one off the list? And she said, I need to call my CPA. I said, okay, awesome. Let's call him. Let's do it. And she said, what? I said, like right now, it's 4:00. Let's call him. He's still like at the end of a phone, right? Yes. Okay. Call him. Whenever you call him, what one thing do you want to have come out of that conversation? Well, I need to get more clarity on what he needs for my books. Okay. And so I said, let's call him. And so we called, and she introduced me and let him know that we're sitting at my coach's table, which he found awesome. And I said, so help us understand, she needs this information. Why do you need this information? And he said, the truth is I just need this report and this report. Cool. So do you have access to her books in her QuickBooks? And he said, no, I would love that. Then I just pull everything forward myself. I don't even need to bother her. Cool. Okay. So I said to my client, I said, let's go ahead and give him access to your QuickBooks. And she's like, well, how do I do that? I said, do you have QB online? And she said, yeah. I said, we can do it right here. So within 5 minutes, we'd called the CPA, we'd given him access. He's running the reports. He's satisfied, check mark, right? And we did the same thing for all 10 things on that succinct list that she pulled forward that said, God, I need to get these things done, right? So what was happening there? One was just simply taking action in the moment and doing it regardless, and letting that lower mind not have the excuses of how difficult it's going to be and how long it's going to take and what all is needed. Just simply take action immediately. And by the end of our hour session, she had made progress on 10 things. She went out of that coaching session completely high and going, I can do this. This was not, she realized the pain that her mind had been creating in the stories, right? So what else creates procrastination? First, that decision that it's just going to be overwhelming. The next is decision paralysis. So we live in a time, it's so awesome living in the time that we have right now. However, there are a number of opportunities out there. Oftentimes we get people that come to our coaching program because they want to learn what career to move forward in. They want to reinvent themselves. They want to take themselves to the next level. They know that they've been doing this and they could wash, rinse, repeat for the rest of their career, but they're bored. And so, in saying, I just want to have a new life, I just want to do something new, faced with so many opportunities that are in our world and the ease at which we can, one, start a business, get a new degree, find the love of our life. Yes, there's plenty apps for that of dating people, right? Getting our health in order. There's so many ways to do it. It can be inundating, overwhelming. And then what happens? We make a decision and then we start doubting it. That same thing, right? Up here, I don't do anything, or I do something and then I start doubting it. And if I doubt it, then I feel guilty. I started in this way. Maybe I'm wasting my time, my money. And if I don't do anything, then I definitely feel guilty. I'm not taking any action. I start to doubt myself and then I feel helpless. It's that entire hamster wheel of procrastination. So today we're solving that. Decision paralysis is real. And we live in a society that's very open to saying, I want to have the freedom to make my own decisions, live my own life, do what I'd love. And we've built a culture and technology around the availability to do that. So how do we stop getting decision paralysis so that we can make progress and not keep demotivating ourselves? We're going to answer that question in a little bit. Another cause of procrastination is that we want to make sure everybody else is happy before we are. Who could raise your hand at that one, right? I don't want to make a decision that's going to make somebody upset. Or I don't want to make a decision and go in a certain pathway unless I have permission and understanding that everybody's on board with my decisions. I'm sorry, but that's another excuse mindset that completely fuels procrastination, because what are we doing? We're trying to be certain, and that certainty equals safety, but safety overall, unless it's you're avoiding a T-Rex, if you're avoiding a dog that's about to bite you, if you're avoiding a lion or a tiger or a cobra or shark, something like that, heck yeah, you need to make sure you're certain and safe. But the majority of the certainty and the safety that we plague our minds with is simply hesitation, procrastination, and a big excuse mindset, all tied in a bow with a big story. And we need to solve that problem and stop it, right? So procrastination, whenever we're trying to make sure other people's are happy before we're happy, is a total saboteur mindset. We need to stop it. Make you happy first. I give you complete permission to find out what would totally make you happy. What would you love? And you don't need to go making sure everybody else is going to approve of your decision, think you're smart, think it's going to work. You don't need their opinions. You simply need to take action. The fourth enemy that fuels procrastination is perfectionism. Perfectionism. I want to get it right. Perfectionism is also known as the fear of failure. It's just put a really nice term to it. And some people own perfectionism like it's a badge of honor because they're like, I have perfectionism. I have perfectionism drama. I'm such a perfectionist. Okay, drop the label, drop the identity. It's not serving you whatsoever in any way. It's keeping you stuck. And so it's also really the fear of failure. I don't want to fail. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to be shamed. And so what do? Nothing. And this is the truth. It's the mother of procrastination. Perfectionism is the mother, like the birth center of all procrastination. So we simply need to tell the truth and go, perfectionism is an illusion. It is a lie. And there is no get ready to begin. There is no, I need to make sure everything's okay. It just doesn't work that way. To heal procrastination, it's taking action and getting off the vicious cycle of trying to be perfect, right? And make sure it's all going to work out. So if you've ever known yourself to be a perfectionist or wanting to get it done right, or making sure it's not going to fail and doing everything you can to make sure it's going to be okay, that's perfectionism, and that's going to drain you. So here you go. Here's some antidotes to perfectionism. Do something even if it's wrong. This is something my father said, just do something even if it's wrong, you'll learn faster. And then once you learn, you'll change. you'll make a new decision, because if it didn't work, then you get to pivot. You get to choose something completely new. But you won't know if it didn't work if you didn't take action. So do something even if it's wrong. The next one is to know and absolutely tell yourself, eyes in the mirror, perfectionism is an absolute illusion. It's a hungry ghost. It isn't true. And it's not a label you want to own. Stop saying it. Don't even identify with it. And done is better than perfect any day. Done is better than perfect any day. So here we go. This is another big one in our culture. People say, I'm so busy. Or other people will tell you, just looking at you, oh my God, you're so busy. Busy is not productive. When someone tells me this, or I hear it in conversation, oh, you're so busy, I'm like, I'm productive. I'm not busy. Because busy is a 4-letter word around here. And busy can make us feel important. It's that significance need, right? I'm so busy. You got to get on my schedule. Like I don't have any time on schedule for like 2 weeks to get on my schedule. What story are we really telling ourselves? The truth is, the people that are not plagued by procrastination, people that are success and progress minded, you can get on their schedule the same day. You honestly can. They'll make time for things that are important, and they'll definitely make time for things that are going to help you move your goals forward and them move their goals forward. Whenever we live above the line in that love, connection, growth, and contribution mindset, time is a resource, and it's infinite because we are honoring it. We understand how to use time to our benefit. We do not tell ourselves a story, I don't have any time. If I could just have more time, that doesn't come into our mindset. So we're healing that today. If you ever hear your mind saying, oh my God, I wish I just had some more time, that's another excuse. That's the lower energy of you're not a powerful person and time is more powerful than you. Your to-do list is more powerful than you. We need to peel back things and find out what's really important and aim our time and attention toward that. So again, being busy is not productive. And being productive is going to add more energy to you because you're going to make progress in the important areas and you're going to, yeah, man, freaking rock. It's just working, it's awesome. So being productive means you're moving in the direction of your goals. And I had to adopt an organization system that really helped me prioritize my goals, the big goals. There's lots of things that can have the attention. However, I make sure that before noon, I'm putting my time and attention towards something that's going to have me feel absolutely on track. I'm progressive. I understand what those major check marks are. Those goals, that vision is getting fed in a beautiful, positive way before lunchtime. And in this organization system, I call it the results system that I use and my coaches use here at Bonfire. Whenever we utilize that system, it can, at the very beginning, look like it's slowing us down. Because what we want to do is pull out what we call the little brat that's tantruming inside of our head saying, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. It's like, oh my God, shut up. And so we pull everything out of that mind that's just ping-ponging in there and causing this disruption and this pain and this, I don't have enough time mindset. And then we organize things. Like I shared that I help my client organize things. And we do that. Now, organization at the very beginning, it will look like it's going to slow you down because we need to be mindful about it. But once you learn the habits of organization and you utilize that, it's total fuel. It's like you're in a rocket, right? And your life completely shifts. It's absolutely powerful. And the last big piece of what procrastination truly is and what's fueling procrastination in our thinking and in our doing is that we are typically, for those that are procrastinating, typically, in fact, I'd probably say 99.999% away from our big why. We do not know our personal vision. We do not have fuel in a big, why are we doing what we're doing? Why is it even on the list? What's the importance of it? And it's not important because it's going to make us significant. It's because our soul resonates with it. And it's saying, oh yeah, baby, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. And it's like this huge win that's coming. Like take, for example, a football team. Football team trains preseason, right? Trains hard. And if you've ever been in a team sport, you know the sweat, the bruises, the cuts, the sore spots, the muscles that don't want to get out of bed in the morning. It's like, but you do it. And you get up the next day and you go to training. And it's every single day. I remember for I was in a track team and we trained 4 times a week, hard, hard. And yeah, it was painful. Yet every morning I knew that I was part of a team, first of all. Second, the vision that I had moving forward toward the goal of winning is what fueled me. I wanted that finish line, that bursting through the finish line, that beating myself on the clock, that feeling my body move at that pace, knowing that my body was a machine and I was creating this outcome. That was my fuel. And that's what got me out of bed in the morning whenever my body didn't want to move. First and foremost, whenever we are procrastinating for whatever purpose, whatever reason, whatever excuse mindset that's in there, I guarantee you're not in touch with your big vision. You're not in touch with the reason why any of these things are on your list or the reason why any of these uses of your time and resources matter. So if you do not have your big why, if you do not have your own personal vision of what brings you absolute joy in your life, you must create that. It's essential because it will help you absolutely crush any procrastination tendencies that you have. So we want to find out what motivates you first, what really motivates you. And I want you to understand what motivates you. And then we're going to dive into designing some really great habits and how do we overcome procrastination. So hopefully you're still with me. You're in this, shoulders back, chin up. So how do you personally get motivated? There are 3 types of motivation. The first one is extrinsic motivation. I call it bribery. So it's, that carrot that dangles in front of us that has us go for something. And for a while, that may look like it works. Like I'm going to win a vacation. I'm going to, set myself up in Barbados for a month. When I get there, I'm, whatever that outside motivation, carrot dangling in front of you is that's going to say, here, run, go for it, do it. And the truth is extrinsic motivation 90% of the time does not work. It works for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then it wanes and it does not stick. I remember I was in an organization that was going to give me a big vacation and a cruise ship thing and money and yada, yada, yada. I just worked my ass off for this goal, right? And it had a little bit of an intrinsic goal, like you're going to be a good person. You're going to help so many people. It's going to be awesome. You're going to feel good about yourself. They were blending those two, extrinsic and intrinsic. And it helped me through, like killing myself toward meeting this goal. I realized I could make the money and go buy the trip myself. And then I started saying, I don't even want to go on this trip. Like, if I had that much money, I wouldn't want to go there. So my lower mind started arguing with me on why we're doing this, right? Have you ever been there? So extrinsic goals and goal motivation does not tend to work at all. So the next type of motivation is intrinsic. Intrinsic, it comes from inside of yourself. It's self-motivated. It's your big why. Like whenever I was on my track team, it was the feeling of winning, right? It's the whole Rocky movie, right? It's those motivational videos and things that we listen to that are on YouTube and Instagram. And we're like, yeah, that's me. Oh, yeah, I feel that. And it resonates. Like, it's totally energizing. It's totally through our energy system, our nervous system. And we can resonate with the energy that the other people have felt whenever they win, right? And it's tied to a vision and a purpose. So that's great because it is your big why. Intrinsically, you're moving toward that. And that combined with this next one totally rocks it. So an intrinsic goal of the feeling and the emotions of the nervous system response of winning and keeping ourselves in that energy state of the big why and winning, paired with the third type of motivation, and that is goals, goal-based energy, the check marks, the celebrations, the checking it back and getting something done now, today. And that's why, for me, those 3 goals have to happen before lunch. I have to start out my day this way. Because if I start off my day and I put myself last, or if I start off my day and other people are at my door taking my time and my attention, I'm just doing whatever everybody else wants of me, by lunchtime, I'm going to feel like crap. I'm like, oh man, I've got to get myself in gear. Like when I come back from lunch, I'm going to have to do this. And it's like it became a have to instead of a I'm so in it, right? You feel the difference? So blending intrinsic self motivation, vision, big why, passion, along with your goal based drive and check marks, organization, systematic, move the ball down the field. Whenever those two get paired, you are unstoppable. So look at yourself. What type of habits do you really have? Even if we don't believe we have a morning routine, you have a morning routine. You're just not calling it your morning routine because you're embarrassed by it. Whenever we have a morning routine and we go tell people about it, we're proud of it, right? We're like, totally. I get up before 5, I work out, I meditate, I eat a great breakfast, I take my vitamins, I give love to my pets and my beloveds around me. I greet the day with energy. I appreciate the presence of the songbirds and the sky and that, right? Whenever we are proud of our morning routine, we're totally going to boast about it. We're totally going to own it. So if you do not have one that energizes you, that you'd be proud to tell other people about and own and claim, you still have a morning routine. Your morning routine could be I hit the snooze button 3 times. I get out of bed grumpy. My mind's going, oh my God, do I have to really do this day? Can I just call in sick? I peel myself out of bed. I do what I'm supposed to do. I take my shower. It's not a big deal, right? And you get to work. It's still a routine. How do we do it? What energy do we put in our routines? You can have a routine of the organization of your day, and if it's not mindful, it's still a routine. So tell the truth. We've got to tell the truth to ourselves, right? And if we're moving our big goals forward, this requires energy and energy richness to totally say, this is my choice. Other people can give you suggestions. You're the one that makes the decisions on what you do. It's your life, right? So what do we need to change to overcome procrastination? Here you go. I got it for you. And you can find out more about this on the blog at bonfirecoaching.com. So make it a habit, subscribe to bonfirecoaching.com's blog, and you're going to see this complete remedy and a worksheet for you on procrastination. Also, at bonfirecoaching.com, when you click on the podcast, which you're listening to right now at Light Your Life, there is the transcription of this very podcast waiting for you there. So, what do we do to overcome procrastination? What do we need to change? First, we need to be receptive. We need to be receptive to change. We need to say, yes, I'm doing this. I'm totally doing this. And it's only on your terms. There's nobody else holding a gun to your head to change your habits of procrastination. Nobody. It's you, right? So you simply say, I'm doing it. And you keep your word to yourself. And you make at least one change. You commit to something. Follow through. Look yourself in the eyes and say, I did it. Check mark. Way to go. We've got to become our own cheerleaders. And I do this at the end of the day. In fact, there's some YouTube videos out there. The person that I share my life with had a camera set up that I didn't see across the bathroom next to the tub and the candles there, and totally captured me doing my evening routine of telling myself how awesome I am and that I absolutely love my life and that tomorrow is going to be a brand new day and we are going to conquer it and claim it, right? You start your new day the night before. So be receptive to yourself and your habits. If you do not believe you have habits, you have habits, you decide to change them. And stop punishing ourselves. We need to stop punishing ourselves about procrastination. It's like, oh my God, I'm such a procrastinator. Stop it. Don't even label yourself that. No more labels. Simply decide to change and make progress. That's all you need to do. And also stay consistent. Consistency is an amazing resource. Every day, some people ask me, how many times do you work out a week? Every day. I work out every day. It's just like brushing my teeth. I'm not going to say, you know what, I brush my teeth twice a week, maybe 3 times a week if I have enough time. No, every single day. If you want to change habits and you want to crush this, you must stay consistent and dedicated and observant, right? Reward yourself, not let yourself off the hook and do something that's going to sabotage your new habits, but simply an attaboy is good. Writing yourself a note like you crushed it. I'm proud of you. And oftentimes we want that validation to come from outside of ourselves. It needs to come inside of ourselves first. Because once we develop that muscle of self appreciation and self validation and understanding that we are keeping our word to ourselves and we are doing what we say we're going to do and we are meeting our goals, not other people's goals, our commitment to ourselves, whenever we do that and we self validate, we build the muscle so that other people's validation can actually go in and be useful. If other people are validating us and we haven't yet self-validated, it just sort of bounces off. It's like, yeah, okay. Yep. Thanks. Yep. Thanks for your appreciation. Thanks for your acknowledgement. But it's not really going in because you are not receptive to it yet. Right. And get support. You really want to crush bad habits such as procrastination, get support around you, people that see you, honor you, respect you, believe in you, and want you to win. They want to help you. And value them in your life, because strong support, awesome people around us, if not appreciated, they'll stop doing it. And we can't do the whole I'm not good enough type mindset around them. We need to step up and be your warrior, man, and receive it and go, thanks. I really appreciate your support. I really do. Thank you so much. I'm receiving your support. I'm using that as fuel today. It's helping me. I love it. Thank you so much. Write them thank you notes. Send them little thank you messages, because strong support around us is absolutely valuable. And the last thing, please stop comparing yourself to other people. Anytime we compare ourselves to other people, we procrastinate. It just fuels procrastination. It fuels the not good enough. It fuels the I doubt myself. It fuels that I'm a failure. It fuels that I'm helpless. It fuels that why worth it, right? Why is any of this stuff worth it story? It fuels the sad story. So commit to yourself that you're not going to compare yourself, your life, your actions, your beliefs, your core values, who you are, how you look, how big you are, how small you are, how rich you are, how poor you are, anything. You're not going to compare any part of you to anybody else. Now, you can look up to people and say, I will reach that. It's different. However, if you find your thoughts, your actions, your words, comparing yourself, and then you feel immediately a little drained right afterwards, that is what I'm saying. You're going to stop. It does not add to anything, and it does not help in your life to be a martyr. That is not an energy you need to own. So stop comparing yourself to anyone else, because you are unique and you're owning your life in a whole new way today. So make yourself a promise. I want you to do this. It's a challenge. Today, you're listening to this podcast. There's still time in the day. You're not asleep. And if you're asleep while you're listening to this podcast, help me understand how that works. And I'm up for subliminal programming, right? So you're going to make yourself a promise. I will get 3 things done today toward my biggest goals. I will, capital W, capital I, capital L, capital L. I will get 3 things done today toward my biggest goals, and I will shift my mindset because I'm going for done. Done is better than perfect any day. So right now, design your own t-shirt in your head. I'm a person that goes for done. And your 3 biggest goals are getting love today. Thank you for listening to this wonderful podcast today on Let Your Life. I'm Tina Marie St. Cyr, and I am the founder of Bonfire Coaching. If you know in your life you want somebody side by side running this race with you, celebrating you, teaching you these strategies day in and day out, and you're like, I've got these goals and I know I want to crush them, getting strong support around you is paramount. I have 2 coaches that help me. I know that left alone, I will spiral. So I find the biggest, baddest, most awesome coaches to help me go the distance, right? And so you can hire a coach. Go to bonfirecoaching.com, sign up for a free discovery session, learn more, and subscribe to this podcast and share it with someone you absolutely love. Thank you so much again. And I hope you have a beautiful, awesome, productive day. Tina Marie St. Cyr, checking out. Till next time.